Hi, I'm Charles. Welcome to my channel. The video you're about to watch is about the Fujifilm XC 15-45 f3.5 to 5.6 kit lens mounted on my Fujifilm XT1, and I'm recording the audio with my Blue Yeti Pro microphone being fed into Streamlabs OBS, and then the audio is synced to the video in DaVinci Resolve 16. This is just a quick intro. I just was casually filming myself playing around with testing the audio with the mic in this position and playing around with the different focal lengths on this zoom lens. And I didn't actually film it with the intent of posting it, but I think there's enough, at least visually, interesting information for you to see how this lens performs. This is the Fuji XT1 on the newest firmware, the 15-45 lens on its newest firmware, so everything's up to date. Hi, Charles is a book sage here again. This is another test. It is, for some reason, when I zoomed in to like where it auto goes to f4.7, which is probably around 30 millimeters, it just would not focus on me. And I think up at f1.7 it's too dark, so I opened the blinds some more to get more light in. So hopefully it's actually focusing on me this time. But again, this is more mainly a mic test, and it's like just playing with the framing test, just to see what it looks like. And I've kind of come to this like sort of position here, sort of leaning on the desk, leaning forward. So is the mic with the gain set at what would be like 11 o'clock on the dial? Is that good enough? Is this close enough? Do I need to bring it any closer to me? I don't know. It's generally positioned in the correct way where the front corduroy part is facing me. But beep beep. But anyway, this is more of it's a combination of is the gain set at 11 o'clock? Does that work for the mic placement? And this is about as out of the frame as I can get it, with it not looking weird. It's standing up, which is, I guess, a more common setup. But and I'm just playing around with, that's the default f15. Whoa. That zoomed all the way in at 55 millimeters, which is just, why? Why would I do that? But that's at 5.6, but let me bring it back down to, oops, wrong ring. Come on. There we go. There, it's at f4.5, which is going to be somewhere in the 25 to 30 millimeter range, which to me is way too close. But again, I don't know if it's getting me in focus or not. So I'm going to talk like this for a minute or two at this focal length, and kind of back it up a little bit, go down to, this is at f4.0, which means it's probably at 18.5, which, if I'm thinking about getting the 18 to 55 f2.8 to f4 XF kit lens, this is roughly what the wide open like end of it would look like. So just kind of want to get a feel for this general framing, for this like 18 millimeter framing at though this is f4.0, it would be this at f2.8, which would be a little more bokeh. It's not a 1.4 lens or anything like that, but I can't afford the 16 mil 1.4, even though that's the lens that I would want for this. So maybe I can get the 16. I'm waffling between, do I get the XF 16 millimeter f2.8 prime lens, or do I get the 18 to 55 f2.8 to 4.0 XF kit lens? So, don't know. Hard to say. So many different options. They're roughly the same price. So kit lens has the advantage of having its image stabilized. Not that that matters for this context, but it is an image stabilized lens. So if I wanted to take that out and do some nighttime photography, the image stabilization in the lens should help get clearer pictures at slower frame rates. But the prime is going to be a better, higher quality lens. So it's really, if I got the 18-55, I would sell this 15-45 lens, the XC, because I wouldn't need it anymore. When would I use it? I mean, its advantage is it's really compact, it's small, so I guess that's an advantage, but the 18-55 isn't a large lens either, so. But it would be, I believe, probably the biggest lens, biggest of the 3 Fuji lenses, if that would become my 3rd Fuji lens. But anyway, let's bring this back down to, whoops, come on. This is f3.8 now, so which means it's probably 17.5 mils. Because I can't get the thing to go to 3.9, which would be 18 on the dot. Because 3.8 is 17.5, 4.0 is 18.5, so 3.9 should be 18, but it won't stop there. Because this, you can't step individual things. I think this is like a motorized zoom. Which you would think, if it's a motorized zoom, there should be a button I can control the zoom on a button on the camera, but there doesn't seem to be one. So, and I don't know if that's just a limitation in the XT1 or a limitation in the lens, because this is a lower consumer end kit lens. So, I don't know. Tough decisions. I like primes, so part of me wants to lean to the 16.2.8, the 16mm 2.8. But I do want to get that 16 1.4 someday. And if I buy the 16 2.8, I'd probably never buy the 16 1.4. And I really do want to get that lens eventually. There's certain documentary landscape photography that I want to do that would really be the proper lens for it, because it would let me get the wide shot. But then, because it has the aspect ratio and minimum focal distance that you can really get in really close. I can't do that with any other Fuji lens, and especially not even with the 16 2.8. So anyway, this is way rambly video, more than enough. Let's step back all the way down to 15 mils where I normally shoot at, and then to end it, let's come on. We're back up to 4.4, which I'm not sure. Somewhere in the 20s range. Cool. Yeah, probably around 24, 23, 24, I would think. But I don't know. Okay, that's enough.